Monday, July 24th. Jimmy, you want to lead the prayer? Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back meeting.
Our Heavenly Father, we pause before you this evening. We thank you so much for the many blessings you bestowed in this little town. Just be with us tonight. Be with us in our meetings we're having for the budget. Just give us the ability to make the best decisions for this little town. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Definitely do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have video tonight?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't see Zoom going here.
Yeah. I think
That's Zoom, it's just for us to see Russ is turned off.
Okay, but he can see us then.
yes.
All right.
Roll call.
William Ellis,
Here.
Trevor Sager,
Here.
Scott Oldham,
Here.
Pamela Samples, Dan Swafford.
Here.
All right. Open bids for the Vine Street Stormwater Project. Town managers requesting the bid openings be tabled. Mike, you want to address that, or Darla?
I will be happy to do it.
I'll go back in a second.
We had advertised in the local newspaper for the bids to be opened this evening for the Jackson Beach Creek Improvement Project, and during the pre-bid meeting, there were some questions and some pretty, I thought, significant questions like, you know, is the town going to bring stone in? Do we have to do that? Do we have to add it to the bid? And there were some other questions. So because of that, Andrew Miller issued an addendum, and I think Mike and Andrew discussed and decided it might be a good idea to give the bidders a little more time and be fair to them to postpone the bidding. So, and I have no problem with that, and actually the Indiana Code on public bidding allows the council to do that if the council finds in writing that there's a good reason for the postponement, which is your resolution, and at tonight's meeting, you have to pick another day and time and place, which I assume is here, for the opening of the bids, and that way you do not have to publish the notice in the paper again.
And I would include there was a significant change in the contract. We added a sewer project that's in the way of the Vine Street project, and we added it to the project.
Okay.
So is this a complete rebid, or is this only open to people who bid on the initial?
I think it's a complete rebid because as long as if any bidders tuning in tonight and they see that the bid has been postponed, the bid opening has been postponed, I think they can submit a bid. It wasn't required that they attend the pre-bid meeting or vote was encouraged.
Yeah, I do not know that we've received anything at this time, and our engineer was in contact with the people that did, was interested in bidding, and so I think everybody knows what's going on, so.
Okay.
So we do need to schedule a short meeting with at least 3 board members.
Yes.
And we would like to do it on the 31st if we could. We could do it during the day, we could do it at, you know, whatever time would work for 3 board members, but we need to have them present so we can open the bids and then take them under advisement.
Right, there will be no other business.
Okay. Any town council comment on this? Any public comment? Council action?
Move to table.
Second.
Okay, so you're moving to pass resolution 11-20-23.
No, they're just moving to table that.
Opening bids.
Right, that's the purpose of the resolution, is you have to explain in writing why you're tabling the bids.
So you want to
Okay.
cancel that?
So we move approval of resolution 11.
Yes, because that explains why you're canceling or why you're tabling the matter.
All right. Move approval of resolution 11, 2023 to reschedule the opening bids for Jack's Defeat Stormwater Project, thus tabling the opening bids for the Vine Water Street project.
Perfect.
Second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And then the date for the new opening is?
I can make it on the 31st. Can anyone else commit to that?
I'm available after 5 p.m.
Okay, that's 2.
I should be fine too. Did you say 5 p.m.?
I'm available
Okay.
after 5, yep.
Maybe, maybe not.
Pardon?
Maybe, maybe not for me.
Well, 3,
Yeah.
Right.
What time did you want the meeting?
6?
I can't go until after 5, yeah.
what do you want
Six.
to just call it, 5:30
Let's do 6.
6?
or 6?
Yeah.
Give you time to get home.
Perfect.
So,
Does that need council action then to set the date, correct, Darla?
yes, so just to be clear for members of the public, the bids will now be open on July 31st, 2023 at the Town Hall at 6 p.m.
Will that be in the resolution?
Actually, I'm going to have William handwrite it in, or I just handwritten it in, or they can sign it.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, skipped a couple things. Approval of minutes for the regular meeting, July 10th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Dan Swafford, did you make the motion? Who,
Yeah, I did.
Motion and second.
and Trevor Sager. William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Action to pay accounts payable, vouchers, and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, down to resolutions. Resolution 10-2023, approving adoption of the comprehensive plan.
Okay, I have that, thank
All
you. On October 10th, 2022, Town Council signed Task Order Number 3, which was to create a comprehensive plan update and development of a UDO. That Task Order Number 3 was signed with Taylor Seifer Williams Design Group, LLC. The comprehensive plan provides a vision for future growth and development at Ellettsville. It does not change current zoning. The last update of the comprehensive plan was 2018. Early on, it was decided to incorporate the comprehensive plan into the Envision Ellettsville plan, which was completed in May of 2022. The only item needed for the comprehensive plan was a land use chapter. The Plan Commission started the comp plan process on January 12, 2023, with the review of the land use map proposed by Taylor Seifert. The Plan Commission discussed the comp plan at every meeting after that, and community involvement is crucial to a comp plan, and this was done through the Envision Ellettsville process and task force meetings that have been held at town halls since February. The Plan Commission members were provided with a copy of Chapter 4 at its May 4th meeting. They then reviewed it at their June 1st meeting, and then at June 6th, they had their public hearing and gave a favorable recommendation for the comp plan to the town council. I'm requesting approval and adoption of the comprehensive plan.
Council discussion?
I got a quick question. Throughout the plan, there is mention of, public and private utility providers. Can you explain that for me?
Cable would be a private utility provider.
Like Smithville,
Yeah, I was thinking telephone and,
and then public is the munis, the town.
I wasn't sure what the question was. Yeah.
Just-
That's simple.
Yeah, well, I thought it was something else added on, so, yeah, I understand it now.
Probably consider private as well.
They're licensed through the state, though.
And then another question I have, density bonuses, can someone explain that too real quick? What kind of bonuses for density did we get?
we really didn't discuss that too much. I'm trying to think how that was even worded at the time. It was just briefly when we went through that.
Okay.
There's really nothing to that, actually.
Wouldn't the UDO finalize that a lot more?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I had more, but if someone else wants to go, I have to look through all this and find it.
What was the vote of the Plan Commission level? You said favorable. What was it, unanimous?
It was unanimous, yes.
Okay.
I wasn't there, so it was a 6-7 vote, I guess, so. Still unanimous, yeah.
Was there any public comment on it?
Yes.
And how was that?
It was in favor of it. Several people spoke in favor and asked that it be a favorable recommendation. They discussed how the town needed an update in accordance with the Envision Ellettsville plan and the concept for that and moving the town forward.
Anybody against it?
No.
Okay. All right. Public comment.
Sign in. I'm Kyle Heenan. Son? Okay. I'm Kyle Heenan with the Envision Ellettsville project and have been for a long time. And just, I want to start by saying thank you for your support of Envision Ellettsville, both all along, including participation in a lot of our events and things. It's been a long process. It's been an exciting process. There's been a great deal of public input into it, including a lot of survey results, a lot of people putting tags on boards that were appearing around the community, people attending, we had, 4 well-attended community meetings on it. We've had focus groups. We've had task forces, including one tomorrow. So there's been a great deal of public input into this great project. And then when we first got the vision plan back, it sort of talked about, okay, here's what it looks like in the future. Here are some ideas for how you can get this done. But there are some foundational things to take care of that you sort of need to take care of before you can take care of the other things. And first of those was the comprehensive plan. So I kind of brought this up with the Plan Commission. I was glad that they approved it. And now it's a long road ahead, and you guys have the steering wheel. So I ask you to support this so we can move ahead with this vision that so many people have participated in. Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
Dan Rary, representing the Chamber, Envision Ellettsville, Main Street, myself as a Realtor and a private citizen. And I'd just like to encourage you to vote to adopt this plan. You've seen me up here every meeting reporting on Envision Ellettsville. Probably get tired of hearing me, but I think it's important that we go ahead and adopt this plan. Thank you. And thank you for all you've done
Thank
so
you.
far.
Valerie Dewar. I also am on the chamber board and am a small business owner. I have been excited for the last, I don't know how long, as the town and Main Street and Envision Ellettsville have come together into a triumvirate of vision planning. And so I don't even think about the fact that we are stagnant, because this is probably the first big growth that I've seen in the 40-some plus years that I have been back in Ellettsville. So I would, of course, urge you to vote for this, and we can look forward to moving on.
Jerry Sanders, superintendent at Richland Bean Blossom Schools and also a citizen of Ellettsville. And I've said many, many times when I've had the opportunity to get up and speak before you how greatly appreciative I am as superintendent and also as a citizen to be able to consider all of you partners and not only growing a community, but growing our future and our young people. And I really appreciate Envision Ellettsville and this project, because from day one, education has been a key part of every step of the way. And as we think about, someday there are going to be others who are going to be sitting in your chairs. Really, the students who are in our schools today will probably be sitting in your chairs, and making those hard decisions. And so we are really investing in our future. So I encourage you to support this plan. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, back to council action.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 10-2023, approving adoption of the comprehensive plan.
Second.
William Ellis?
Yes.
Trevor Sager?
Yes.
Scott Oldham?
Yes.
Dan Swafford?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we've already done the next resolution. No ordinances on the first reading. Ordinances on second reading. Ordinance 2023-07 to amend Section 33 of the Ellettsville Town Code regarding the town's purchasing procedures. Is this you, Darla, or Mike?
I can take it. A couple of meetings ago, the town council had asked me to prepare an ordinance which would allow the town manager to purchase services of accountants and engineers up to $50,000 without council approval, and that's what this ordinance does.
Okay. Any council comments on this?
My memory's is failing me again, but I had a question about that, Darlene, and I asked you to change something. Can you remember what it was?
Removing lawyers.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
attorneys,
lawyers,
yeah.
right.
Okay, so that was kept out of it then. All right, thank you.
Any other council discussion? Moving on to public comment. Seeing none, back to council action.
Move that we approve ordinance 2023-07 to amend section 33 of the Ellettsville Town Code regarding the town's purchasing procedures.
I'll second.
William Ellis?
Yes.
Trevor Sager?
Yes.
Scott Oldham?
Yes.
Dan Swafford?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 2023-08 to amend the town's hiring procedures. Is this you again, Darla?
Yes.
All right.
A couple of meetings ago, the town council asked me to prepare an ordinance that would allow the supervisors to hire their part-time people, specifically police and fire, without town council approval. And I think at the last meeting where this was discussed, Scott had a question as to whether or not this ordinance could be passed. I think the question was whether or not the council could authorize somebody else to hire police officers, given that the council is the safety board for the town. So I think the town can pass this because, first of all, there is a Indiana code which allows the marshal to appoint its deputies, and the town council's the safety board for purposes of the disciplinary statute. When the town joined the 1977 pension plan, the town was required to, or the police and fire departments were required to establish pension boards, which I believe is different than a safety board. So I think the town council does have authority to pass this, and both the fire chief and the police chief can hire their own part-time people.
Can any other supervisors do, or is it just police and fire?
I think there's already a section in the code that allows part-timers.
To not go before the board?
I think the issue was strictly police and fire.
Okay.
That's listed under section 1 of the proposed ordinance.
All right, council discussion? Seeing none. Public comment? Seeing none, back to council action.
Move approval of ordinance 2023-08 to amend the town's hiring procedures.
Second.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Flood report, Mike, did you want to add anything to what we've already discussed about bids?
Well, you talking about a different flood. So, last Thursday at night, we had rain in Ellettsville. I live just out of town on the north side, and I had 1.5 inches, and it was pretty good rain. But in town, more to the south, we had 3.5 inches of rain in a couple hours. And when our storm guy says he had 3.9 inches, I don't know if he's just trying to up us all on our rain gauges, but we had probably 3.5 to 3.9 inches. And so the only reason I bring it up is, our stormwater utility, we try to keep up with projects that improves runoff and retention and this, that, and the other, but it's hard to keep up with, and the intensity indeed has changed in the kind of rains and how often we have them in the last few years, last 3 or 4 years especially. And so I just wanted to mention that we had that rain, and there was a lot of debris in the streets, and the street department, as usual, their crews, and with the help of the utility crews, went out and cleaned it all up and made it all good again.
And the fire department.
And the fire department, thank you.
Use the tanker.
And so, I just wanted to mention it because a 3.9 inch rain in a couple hours, maybe 3 at the most, that's a lot of rain. And so, there's always going to be a flood.
Okay. How did our systems handle it? Obviously, I hadn't heard anything bad about it, so I'm thinking pretty well.
I mean, we had a little bit of water take on Vine Street, and for some reason, we had a little more sediment residue left behind the funeral home. So that was one of the main areas that we had to clean up debris and stuff, was Vine Street. And it probably got by the dirt line that was left after the flooded area. We probably got about a foot of water on the street, on Vine Street, yeah.
Flooded pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, that was really the main area.
That's all.
All right. Any council discussion on this? Public comment? All right. New business. Fire Department requests a conditional offer for employment pending an acceptance into the PERF 77 fund for Sam Saft. Is he full-time or part-time?
Currently part-time.
Okay, but you're wanting to
And
make...
we have an open full-time position, and we're looking for a conditional offer pending a per physical.
Okay. Council discussion? Council action?
Move that we extend a conditional offer of employment to Sam Saft pending the acceptance into the 77 Public Employee Retirement Fund.
I'll second.
William Ellis.
Yes.
Trevor Sager.
Yes.
Scott Oldham.
Yes.
Dan Swafford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, architectural services for proposed public works facility. I'm assuming that's Mike?
Jeff, you want to handle it?
Jeff, all right.
We send anything to these folks? We did. Let's table it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna table it. Well, we can talk about it. We met with an architectural firm, to build the new, utilities facility. And, we liked, the information we got, and they sent us a proposal we'll send to you. And, you can look it over and please ask questions. And I think, I think
$180,000 for a $4.5 million project.
so. Anyway, so we'll be sending that your way.
Okay. So since this is not a resolution or anything, we don't need to table it or anything, right? Okay.
No.
Any public discussion on that? Council comments? All right, privilege of the floor from the public?
Sorry, I missed my chance for a real quick Envision Ellettsville update. First of all, thank you very much for supporting the the comprehensive plan. That's great. I want to say that our task forces are scheduled for tomorrow, and we realized that increasingly the 3 task forces were continuing to play in the same sandbox. So we thought, what if we do one? So for this session, we're combining into one. And one of the topics we'll be talking about, again, if you're all interested, you may want to attend. It'll be 3 to 4:30 tomorrow. The idea of funding some of the ideas that we have moving forward is always something I know you've all thought about. You're a very, very careful board, and the taxpayers appreciate that. So then you start to think, well, gosh, if we want to add this to it, how do we pay for it? And there are so this is going to be an overview. What are the things that some other communities to do to pay for some of the improvements they want to do? And, is it worth it? And, does it pay for what we want? And what is it, are we willing to accept, a little more here to get these things? So we're going to have an overview discussion on that kind of thing and just the different sorts of techniques are out there. And you're all welcome to attend. And this should be pretty interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, supervisors.
I have a couple items I left in front of you. Let's take the first one, the easiest one. I need new gutters on the sludge storage barn at the wastewater plant. I tried to get 3 quotes, ended up only getting 2 to respond. The lowest quote is Kuntz Roofing. I have no choice here but taking the lowest quote, so I just need approval to go ahead and do that project. After 25 years and a couple tornadoes going by, they need replaced.
Is there a reason you said you don't have a choice?
I mean, I just ask for, I don't have any reason to point to one or the other, is what I'm trying to say. I have an unbiased opinion.
Just a point, this is within the town manager's ability to approve. I don't know that the council needs to see this.
Prove it.
Well, we weren't sure. Okay, fine.
And then the other thing that would have fallen under is Mike and I, after taking a hard look at what's going on in the future for the water and wastewater, one of the things that SRF is requiring is that you have an asset management plan. And so we reached out to Wessler Engineering about doing really coming in and looking at, there's a lot of growth being talked about on the west side, and just, we really need an engineer to look at the way our sewer system drains, and are we got the right capacity. And it's been a long time since we've had anybody do something like this. The other portion of this, and you guys can read through it, the first 6 pages are the important part, is the asset management plan that is required by our SRF, State Revolving Fund. If we would have a project come up, you got to have this tool on your shelf to even get approved for the project. So they're making, the Indiana Finance Authority and SRF are making you have this. We actually need it, and they give us a price of $60,000, not to exceed $60,900. And Mike, you want to comment on this at all?
Well, I think the other part of it, that's the same project where we'll be looking at how we service the west side as well.
That's correct.
Yes, so, I mean, we pay, most of the time, when people come to town and want to know this, want to know that, Jeff and I can answer questions when it's utility related. But when we get some of the more sophisticated businesses that may want to land here and put a lot into being here, it's good to have an engineered report to give them, so it isn't just 2 guys in a truck telling them what's going on. So that's another reason I thought it'd be important to have this.
I'd like to comment that we do have an asset plan. So if you do contract with these people, I would like for them to take, I have a listing of assets, and I hired someone a few years ago to try to get all of the water and sewer lines incorporated in it and all the streets, and we did a lot of updating. So I'd like for you to review that and
kind of build on what we have already. It may not suit your needs and be the detail you need, but it'll be a starting point at least.
And more importantly, will it meet the details that SRF needs? That's all I'm really concerned about here, is that, and this will be funded through the capital account that we have, because it's really for our capital projects, and it'll be paid for by future hook-ons that we'll see out on the west side of town and throughout town, actually.
How are we involved with the state revolving fund? Explain that to me.
Well, we're currently not. We've paid our debt off, but if we need to do a wastewater treatment plant expansion in the future, then we most generally use state revolving funds. If you're not using those funds, if you were going to USDA, which I wouldn't recommend, because they're 40-year loans, then we wouldn't. I'm sure, I don't know if they're going to require it, but I just know that most municipalities use SRF for their funding for any kind of water and wastewater projects.
Will they incorporate the other assets of the town into this plan, you think, or is it just going to be for water and sewer?
This one's just for wastewater.
Just for wastewater?
Just for wastewater.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, question on this, it's already dated. Is that a mistype? Because it's in this contract, it's signed and dated by them for December 21st, 2022. And in the blank part up where you fill it in, it says 2022 also. Was this something we asked earlier and it just, okay.
No, I just taken this long to pull the trigger on it.
Okay.
Because it's a large sum of money, and
Right.
we've done our due diligence and made sure it's exactly what we needed, and
Okay.
a lot of things have come up. So I'm really giving it to you tonight to look over and maybe put it on the agenda for the next meeting. I'm not looking for action. We recommend that we do this, so if you want to vote on it tonight, I will not be mad.
Okay. Council discussion on this?
If we need it, we need it.
All right. Public comment? Council action?
Move to accept the architectural services proposal for the Public Works facility as described from Wessler. Is it? Engineering, sorry.
I'll second.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
motion carries.
You have anything else, Jeff?
No, thank you.
Jimmy?
Yes, I'd like to bring to your attention, we're very fortunate, Ellettsville Police Department, we get funds from the CARES grant here in Monroe County. And sitting in the back there, Zach, will you raise your hand? Lieutenant Zach Michael was recognized for his high DUI arrest this year, or last year, so it's a very prestigious award. And right now, we have Zach and another officer, Sergeant Richard Hall, on the same track for this year, so.
That's
We're
fantastic.
doing our job out there. We're getting the drunks off the road, and so we're doing a good job. So
Thank
just
you.
want to bring that to your attention.
Good job on that. All right, Mike? Yeah. No. All right. Kevin? Kip?
As you know, we got a grant to move the log cabin on Vine Street up here to Town Hall. And I wanted to let you know we've selected the moving company and we have signed our portion of the agreement based on Mike's ability to do that. And so we're still anticipating moving it up to Town Hall in August, but we won't get on their calendar till they receive the contract from us.
Okay.
And then I also wanted to let you know that the Ellettsville Envision Plan received a Hoosier Planning Award from the Indiana chapter of the American Planning Association at our meeting in May.
Fantastic.
So, and that's all.
All right. Sandy?
I don't have anything.
All right. Council comments. I think Dan has something.
No.
Well,
Oh.
yeah.
And I apologize, like I said, I don't have my notes in front of me.
Just in general then.
But I did attend the transit meeting with Bloomington, the commissioners, the mayor. Pam was there, and basically what it boils down to is the funding is being pulled from county to county on transit, and if we continue it, our cost is gonna be roughly $170,000 to continue the services. I think there's like 5,000 rides to Ellettsville a year, and it's mostly from handicapped citizens and things like that that have no other means of transport. So it's something that we are gonna get involved in. There's several more meetings coming. I asked for a lot of information, and they're gonna get that together, and Darla will be attending the next meeting with us, and so I'll have more to report, but because budget time coming up for all of us, it was kind of a new thing, and it was thrown out there, so they understand it's a quick emergency deal, so they're gonna get the numbers together and the statistics, and then we'll go from there, see what's going on. And I apologize again, I didn't have my notes with me. There was a few more things, but.
So you're talking about rural transit?
It's actually part of it, but it's mostly, Denise, what was it called? You said it earlier, or someone did.
Was it Bloomington?
Bloomington, well, it's kind of like Bloomington Transit, yeah.
Bloomington Transit doesn't make runs over here.
Well, that's what I thought
Was
too,
it
but
fast something? or-
it's part of the Bloomington Transit thing. It's not called Bloomington Transit, and it's not their buses, so, I was shocked too when I heard they come out here, but
Is it the BT Transit? I've seen a couple of those vans. That
it must be, so,
I think that.
BT Transit, yeah.
That's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the vans.
So it's something definitely we're gonna have to think about, and once we get the more information, because as of January 1st, they will no longer provide that service if we don't pay, so.
Dan?
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't know that it's not more economical for us to do our own.
I'm on the board of directors of Area 10, and Area 10 has, for years, provided transit services all around, Ellettsville and the surrounding areas, and they're being cut out. It's called the urbanizing or urbanized area, and it covers Ellettsville, and that's what Bloomington Transit's authority is expanding. It has always been over here, but they've just never exerted that authority. And it goes all the way up to the federal level of where this is coming down from. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna say catastrophic for a lot of the citizens here in Richland and Bean Blossom Townships to not be able to have this rural transit service that Area 10 has provided for years. And they don't have a choice.
Yep.
Area
I
10,
agree
they're
with you,
being, they're
Dan.
being cut out.
Right. I remember something like that, but I thought it was more, they were combining together, so they're being cut out totally, is?
That's my understanding.
Rural transit is.
Pardon?
Rural transit is being cut out of there.
Yeah, rural transit is run by Area 10.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's because we're classified as an urban area.
And they're losing their
and
funding. They don't
same
have
with
funding to do this. And the way it was explained to me, I've got a board meeting Wednesday, and I'll find out more about it, but it's being forced upon them.
And I was really, that makes sense now, because I couldn't believe Bloomington Transit had been over here that many trips without rural transit being involved. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know how these citizens are gonna get around, especially being handicapped and Area 10, so, yeah, it's a deep concern,
Yeah.
and,
It's serious.
yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for adding
This
that.
would be Bloomington Transit that would be.
Absorbing
That's what we're
rural
gonna be dealing with.
transit, yep. So that makes sense now, so. But like I said, though, they also said that Bloomington Transit had been over here, so You know, I'll just ask for more clarifications next meeting.
It's been a long-term goal to serve
Yeah.
in Monroe County. I believe.
And Darla will be there, so she takes better notes than I do. At least she'll remember to bring them with her.
Yeah. Okay, any other council comments?
I have one comment. I should have. Tomorrow, we're having a retirement party for Scotty Bruce. Been here 15 years. He's retiring. If anybody's in and around, wants a free lunch, wish Scotty well, I want to make sure the board's invited to that. Darla?
He's buying us all lunch to go to his retirement party? That is amazing.
Yes. So I thought I'd mention it, and we're gonna have to hire 2 people to replace him. That works both ways.
It'll be at noon.
It's a compliment, and
Gotcha.
it's true.
Here?
Here.
12 o'clock.
Cupcakes too, I seen them back there.
Thank you.
Me and Jeff had one, so we don't get one tomorrow.
All right. Any other council comments? All right. This time, I see no other business before the council. We are adjourned.